The race to snag the final gaming license is up for grabs, and it's reaching a major milestone today. Good afternoon, and thanks for choosing us. I'm Jurnee Taylor. At this very moment, the Racing Commission is meeting to decide which of the two developers meet the requirements to bring a casino to Pope County. Both Cherokee Nation Entertainment and Gulfside Casino Partnership hoping they can win over the commission. So far, Cherokee Nation is the only group with the required support from the county judge. But even that wasn't enough to stop Gulfside from submitting their application. As we said before, officials are scoring each entries as we speak. We'll have the newest details tonight in our later shows. Another entity is putting up their own fight after having their license suspended last month. Regulators say Green Springs medical marijuana was found violating state law multiple times. The dispensary's owner stood before the ABC board this morning to appeal and says he'll make a public comment after a decision is made.
Hello friends, we are looking for a really good Wednesday ahead. Those temperatures aren't too bad out there and those humidity levels are even lower, which is making the day feel absolutely perfect. But that is going to change in the next few days. But right now, let's enjoy this day. We are looking at Hot Springs at 85, Stuttgart is 83. Your sensors are a little messed up there, but I want to make sure you get your information. 81 in Searcy, 82 in Pine Bluff. In the metro, we are 83, and I want you to check out that humidity. It's only at 46%. That is why it feels so nice out there with that dew point right around 60. So today's looking absolutely awesome. That high right around 87, and it'll feel absolutely fantastic. Throughout the day, more sunshine. We've got clear skies tonight as we drop down into the 70s. But things, they are a-changing, as they say. We've got temperatures ramping up into the upper 90s by the weekend, and those humidity levels, they are headed that way as well. But we'll talk about your Father's Day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Tracy Bean, thank you. The Arkansas GOP is making a historic change to the election process by forcing voters to be registered with the Republican Party in order to participate in their primaries. The new rule is already enforced in some states, but it's the first time we're seeing action of this nature in Arkansas. Some Republicans say having closed primaries is in the best interest of the party, while others remain on edge with the thought of history being repeated.
As somebody that saw what was going on back in the mid-2000s when Democrats were complaining about Republicans crossing over. If you're going to have closed primaries, then why should the taxpayers fund that? I think that you should look at a caucus system, much like Iowa does president.
If the change remains in place, voters will have up until Election Day to change their registration. Governor Sarah Sanders is calling lawmakers back to the state capitol with hopes of tackling unfinished business from last month's fiscal session. The Arkansas House failed to approve a bill that would have provided funding to the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. Inside the budget proposal sits a director pay increase of $40,000, a decision which some lawmakers are questioning. Lawmakers would need to find a resolution soon, though, as the next fiscal year starts July 1st. An intense legal battle between Johnson & Johnson and the state's attorney general came to an end with a multi-million-dollar settlement. AG Tim Griffin shared Arkansas would get nearly $13 million as part of a nationwide agreement. The company will be forced to stop selling any and all products that were challenged in the lawsuit. The growing demand for more affordable housing in Little Rock is being heard by city directors who are fighting for more space to make that a reality. For years, city leaders have been buying up land with hopes of putting it to good use, and as early as next week, they'll make a decision that could provide developers on two of their properties. That could put developers on two of their properties. If approved, the city plans to use $10 million to fill those lots with duplex homes.
The land bank was created to, number one, inventory these properties, and then number two, sell them to developers that's going to develop affordable housing.
Little Rock Mayor says his proposed sales tax will help do more good for the city. The board will have the final say regarding the land properties next week. A proposed law is hoping to allow overnight stay at the Albert Pike campgrounds after a flood killed 20 people 14 years ago. Since then, camping has only been allowed during the day, but the lack of tourism dollars is having a negative impact, and lawmakers are hoping to change that through the Explore Act.
We're 83% national forest in Montgomery County, so all we have is the resources the government, what we got. So, that's why we're trying to bring it back in, because of all the people from Texas and outside the country. But a lot of local people use Albert Pike too.
Officials say they look forward to the new beginning. Well, just because it's summer doesn't mean you can't stimulate your brain, which is why the Lake Hamilton School District is hitting the roads to prevent learning loss. They plan to do that through this year's Book Mobile, which will make multiple stops around the district. Every Tuesday, students at home can expect a different theme, along with some pretty cool giveaways. Parents say it's been a big help with keeping their kids productive.
They came without speaking English at all. So they already speak English and they're doing really, really good. And I'm so proud that they are into reading.
Leaders in the district say they look forward to connecting with students over summer break. Teenage mental health was a top concern at Tuesday's Rotary Club meeting in Little Rock as members of the panel discussed ways to help the next generation. Those officials put the blame on smartphone usage for having a negative impact on youth and provided evidence on how it can lead to more teens experiencing mental health issues. Now, to curb the issue, they're calling on parents to get more involved by monitoring their child's environment.
Parents are protecting their kids from the outside world, overprotecting kids from the outside world, but giving them free access to the virtual world.
One solution includes giving your child a flip phone until they're old enough to handle the responsibility of a smartphone. Well, another mosquito-borne illness has made its way to the U.S. and could put you at risk. CBS's Kristen Benavidez is in Miami, where dengue fever is starting to wreak havoc.
Omar Sanchez and Joel Gutierrez, co-owners of Mosquito Joe in Miami, say it's getting busy.
We check for standing water because that's where the main mosquito problem's coming from.
Now with the rain starting, we're definitely getting more calls.
This year, Latin America is experiencing its worst dengue fever outbreak ever, and the mosquito-borne illness is now detected in the U.S. Worldwide numbers show a troubling trend.
This year, there have been already over 7.6 million cases.
Dr. Eileen Marty is an infectious disease expert.
Dengue is also known as breakbone fever, and that's because you have this terrible bone pain. You can also have pain behind your eyes. You can have nausea.
Most people with dengue are asymptomatic, but some develop severe disease that can turn deadly.
This is highest risk for children.
The mosquito spreads the disease by biting someone who is infected, then biting and infecting someone else.
The CDC says the vast majority of U.S. cases are travel associated, but a small number of cases is acquired locally.
Miami-Dade County has the most cases in the country. John Paul Mutebi is the director of mosquito control.
We are using their products that knocks down the larval population in it.
They're currently spraying in areas where cases of dengue have been confirmed and studying mosquito populations to determine if they're carrying the virus. Critical work with summer just getting started. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
Well, just when you thought you checked all your boxes, there's always something else to consider. Stick around for why you need a few extra dollars for your vacation.
All right, and those dew points have been nice to us the past few days, keeping our humidity low, but temperatures and humidity are on the rise. For your Father's Day forecast coming up after the break.